Imagine a place where science became a weapon, where human beings were not patients, but raw material for unspeakable experiments. A place so dark, its very name sends shivers down the spine of history. This is the story of Unit 731 and the chilling truths it holds. Welcome to Darker Truths. Today, we delve into one of the most horrific chapters of human history, Japan's Unit 731. Operating in the shadows of World War II, this clandestine biological warfare research unit committed atrocities that defy comprehension. What was Unit 731? Where did it operate, and why? The answers are as disturbing as they are vital to remember. Prepare yourselves, for the truth is far more chilling than fiction, and its echoes still resonate today. Unit 731 was the brainchild of Lieutenant General Shiro Ishii, a brilliant but morally bankrupt microbiologist. Ishii, driven by a twisted vision of scientific advancement and nationalistic fervor, convinced the Japanese military that biological weapons were the key to victory. Established in 1937 in Pingfang, Manchuria, a region under Japanese occupation, its primary objective was chillingly simple: to develop biological and chemical weapons for the Imperial Japanese Army. But to achieve this, they needed data, and that data was extracted through the most inhumane means imaginable, on living human beings. The unit operated under the guise of a water purification plant, a sinister cover for its true, horrific purpose. Ishii's ambition knew no bounds, and he was given carte blanche to pursue his research regardless of the human cost. The victims, whom Unit 731 chillingly referred to as Maruta, or logs, were primarily Chinese, Korean, Russian prisoners of war, and other civilians. Their suffering was unimaginable, their humanity stripped away in the name of perverse science. Prisoners were subjected to vivisections without anesthesia, their organs removed while they were still conscious, all to study the effects of disease and trauma. These weren't quick deaths. They were prolonged, agonizing procedures designed to observe the human body's response to infection and injury in real time. Doctors would dissect living subjects to examine the effects of plague, cholera, and other pathogens on internal organs, often without any medical justification beyond pure morbid curiosity. The screams of the Maruta were ignored, their pain meticulously documented as scientific data. They were deliberately infected with deadly pathogens like plague, cholera, anthrax, syphilis, and tuberculosis. Their bodies became living laboratories to test vaccines, observe disease progression, and determine the most effective ways to weaponize these biological agents. Some were injected with contaminated blood, others forced to eat diseased food, all while their symptoms were meticulously recorded until their inevitable, agonizing deaths. Entire villages were sometimes used for field tests, with contaminated food or water distributed to observe the spread of disease. The ethical boundaries of medicine were not just crossed, they were obliterated. Victims endured frostbite experiments where limbs were frozen and thawed to study gangrene and find ways to prevent it in soldiers. They were subjected to grenade tests where subjects were tied to stakes and blown apart to analyze the blast radius. Flamethrower attacks were conducted on living individuals to assess their destructive power. Dehydration experiments pushed the human body to its absolute limits, while others were spun in centrifuges until they died or had their blood replaced with animal blood. Pregnant women and children were not spared from these horrors, becoming subjects in experiments that defy all moral boundaries. The sheer variety and cruelty of these experiments highlight a complete disregard for human life. Unit 731 mass-produced plague-infected fleas, developing ceramic bombs designed to spread these deadly insects across vast populations. They launched biological attacks on Chinese cities using balloons to disperse pathogens, causing widespread death and terror. The infamous epidemic bombs were dropped on cities like Changde, and Ningbo, unleashing outbreaks of plague, cholera, and typhoid that claimed tens of thousands of innocent lives, a chilling precursor to modern biological warfare. The unit also experimented with other biological agents, including botulism and smallpox, aiming to create weapons of mass destruction on an unprecedented scale. If you find these untold stories compelling and believe in shedding light on the darker corners of history, please hit that subscribe button and join the Darker Truths community. Your support helps us continue this vital work, ensuring these narratives are never silenced and that the lessons of the past are learned. As the war drew to a close, the Japanese military desperately tried to erase all evidence of Unit 731's existence. Buildings were demolished, documents burned, and surviving Maruta were executed in a desperate attempt to bury the truth. But the truth, however gruesome, could not be entirely buried. In a shocking twist of history, many of Unit 731's scientists, including Ishii himself, were granted immunity by the United States in exchange for their research data. The US, eager to gain an advantage in the burgeoning Cold War, and fearing that the Soviets might acquire this biological warfare knowledge, made a Faustian bargain. This secret deal denied justice to countless victims and allowed perpetrators to escape accountability, with many going on to have successful careers in medicine and academia in post-war Japan. This decision remains one of the most controversial ethical compromises in modern history, leaving a lasting scar on the pursuit of justice and historical memory. The world turned a blind eye to these crimes for decades, prioritizing geopolitical interests over human rights, a decision that continues to haunt international justice. For decades, the Japanese government maintained a veil of silence and denial regarding Unit 731, often downplaying or omitting these atrocities from official histories. Yet, the tireless efforts of survivors, historians, and activists have slowly brought these truths to light. Individuals like Sheldon Harris, a pioneering historian, dedicated their lives to uncovering the evidence and giving a voice to the voiceless. Museums, like the Unit 731 Museum in Harbin, China, stand as solemn memorials, preserving the memory of the victims and educating future generations. The story of Unit 731 serves as a stark reminder of the depths of human cruelty, the catastrophic consequences when scientific ethics are abandoned, and the dangers of unchecked power. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about accountability, justice, and the selective nature of historical memory. We must remember these events, not to dwell in the past, but to ensure that such atrocities are never repeated and to uphold the sanctity of human life and dignity. Thank you for watching Darker Truths. If you found this video impactful, please like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories that challenge our understanding of history. Join us next time as we continue to explore the shadows of the past, uncovering the truths that history tried to bury.